Okay, so to cut to the chase quickly, I don't know if I'm going to bring back GB 100 for good. I really want to make more videos here. We still haven't hit the goal on Patreon to bring back this channel, but I just miss making these videos, so I'm going to start making them again. The reason that I want to wait until I hit a goal on Patreon is because last time I did this channel, I had a lot of time that was just sunk into making videos here, that it started to affect my ability to pay my bills, and you know, I wasn't streaming as much or making videos on my main channel, and all of the more important things that, you know, you would consider my job. This was more for fun. So I don't really care about that until let's just make videos here and see what happens. But to cut to the chase, first video back, let's talk about stuff. I really wish I was an anime YouTuber. Now, let me be clear, that is not because I like anime. In fact, I feel like I don't like anime more so than the average person on the internet, right? Like, the average person on the internet still likes anime to some extent. It feels like a lot of people, you know, they still enjoy anime to some extent. And I'm certainly someone that can enjoy anime to some extent, but I only really enjoy stuff that is, you know, everybody agrees is good, right? The last time I saw an anime film, or any kind of anime really, last time I saw an anime was Your Name. I watched it with someone 2 weeks ago. Previous to that, the last time I saw anything anime was like 4 or 5 months ago when I watched Your Name in theaters. I went to see it in theaters like 4 times because that was an amazing movie. But those are really the only things I enjoy watching, you know, stuff that everyone agrees is good. I'm not someone that really likes to watch everything or like follow seasons of anime and talk about all the different shows that might be kind of good, but maybe kind of like guilty pleasure good. There are not too many guilty pleasure anime shows that I've watched. Maybe my teenage rom-com Snafu. I actually really enjoyed that. But other than that, I mean, there's not really many things out there. So, you know, that being said, I probably wouldn't be a very good anime YouTuber. But I still think that that is like the holy grail of YouTube for a number of different reasons. Firstly, I don't know if you guys have noticed this or if I've explicitly stated this in a previous video, but my favorite kind of videos to make are detailed video essays or video analysis kinds of stuff. So for instance, if you know the YouTubers like Nerd Writer or Every Frame of Painting or Captain Christian, these are not YouTubers I necessarily like, by the way. I'm only subscribed to Every Frame of Painting and they just quit. But those are the kinds of videos that I really enjoy watching and the kinds of videos I really enjoy making as well, where generally you take a subject that most people don't really think about and then you explain it to them in an interesting way. So an example would be like Every Frame of Painting, they analyzed film form. So, you know, everyone has talked about films, everyone has talked about the different things that go into making films and like the different themes and messages that might be in a story, but they just talked about basic stuff like how you would frame a shot, you know, how you would frame a shot and maybe the different techniques you can use in like how you use camera movement and how you use lighting and certain effects and stuff to maybe portray certain, you know, emotions, or if you wanted the audience to feel really tense or scared or something, you can do that not just with dialogue and obvious stuff like acting, but you can do it in how you shoot a scene. And that's something that I think is really interesting and something that most people don't really consider. Most people go to a movie and, you know, they might follow an actor and know tendencies of Nicolas Cage always overacting, or, you know, this person being a really good actor, this one being really bad or cheesy or something, but they don't really consider the basic form of making film. And that's something that I think is a good example of the kind of YouTube channel that I kind of look up to and sort of want to replicate. I obviously am not trying to copy their videos or even copy their style, but that kind of video is what I really enjoy making. The reason I say that anime YouTubers in particular are like the pinnacle of this is because there is so much stuff out there related to the world of anime and anime television series or movies where it's like completely unbeknownst to most people, even people that follow anime. I am sure there is so much stuff out there that you know, even like the most dedicated anime fan can be shown shows that they didn't know existed, or shown stories or this or that, where you can show them something new, and you can take new things and explain and show the positives and negative qualities of them and do that for an audience. That's not something you can really do for traditional television, by the way. Anime in particular, you can do it for, because anime has like a cult following that needs the internet, right? You can follow analysis and critiques and reviews of mainstream movies, any movie or television series in the West. You can find writers on magazines and websites and stuff, making content, reviewing and talking about that kind of stuff. But anime in particular is a niche audience, so you kind of need a little area of the internet where you can talk about that kind of stuff. And that's something I really envy about the anime community, if I'm going to call it that. I can't really do that with League of Legends, can I? I realized this the other day. The video that I just put out, I put this video out yesterday at the time of recording this. I believe this is December 5th. Let me check it right now. It was titled "Why Top Laners Are So Whiny." And it was supposed to be one of those examples of something where I'm taking something that I thought not many people considered or thought about and explained it in an interesting way. For this video, it was talking about why other lanes might not understand the struggles that top laners go through, and why you might think that when someone like myself or a Shinshin or Aurelia Carries You or Wicked or like any of the big top lane personalities out there, you might not understand why they complain so much about bruisers not being good. And you might think that, oh, her Shinshin's complaining because he's a Jax one trick, but that video is more about saying like, hey, it's not because he's a Jax one trick, it's because he wants to play bruisers. It's not just our one trick champions that aren't good right now. It's an entire class of top laners that has been neglected for forever. I thought that's something that I hadn't really ever talked about before, and something I hadn't really experienced on the YouTube channel or mentioned before. And I thought it was a really interesting video that a lot of people were going to enjoy, but it did not turn out to be a success at all, right? I think it's gotten the least amount of views of any of my past 10 videos, and it got hit with an ad restriction and all this stuff that everyone, it was not a very successful or happy video. And so I didn't really expect the video to do that well or anything. I'm not full of myself. I don't think it's going to get 1 million views or be some sort of revolutionary thing. But I thought people would find it interesting, and it turned out a lot of people thought it was really repetitive and boring stuff. And I think the reason for it, part of the reason for it, is because a lot of the concepts and things I talk about in that video are things that we've all experienced. Things that we've all talked about, things that we've all experienced. There's so many things in League of Legends that you could maybe, subjects that you could maybe make this sort of analysis video on, but everyone has experienced them and everyone knows about them. And it's kind of difficult to find subjects if you're just talking about one game. If I'm only going to be making videos about League of Legends, and if I'm only going to be making videos really about, a top lane or solo lane, maybe jungle, solo lane and jungle perspective about how to play League and discussing the mechanics of the game, there are not that many things that I feel like I can make super detailed and interesting analysis videos on. Maybe that's my ignorance to the game. I am fucking low diamond trash, right? So maybe that's partially my ignorance as to the game, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe I'm just bad. But I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of restricted when I'm making these kinds of videos. And that's why I say I've thought about this a lot before. It's like my fantasy to be an anime YouTuber where you just have this huge pool of content that you can tap into and find all these weird little niche things that nobody knows or understands and go off on all these tangents. Like, I forget the one episode the one anime that Mother's Basement really enjoys, Rakugo, something Rakugo, something. But it's, that anime, if you guys have not seen it, is a show about like this weird Japanese storytelling thing that, there's no real comparison to the West, and there's it's not really something that you can make any sort of comparison to. It's like this really weird, specific thing in Japanese culture that, you can go off on a 20-minute tangent just talking about it. And And then, the entire show surrounding it, there's so much to discuss. And that's a single show. I feel like League of Legends is just a single show that I keep on trying to make the same video on over and over. And I'm not really sure what to do to fix that. I don't know if I really don't know what I'm going to be doing in the future. I've been struggling recently trying to find... I really want to keep on making these kinds of analysis videos and stuff, but it's kind of difficult to, because that's also not something that's really perpetuated by the League community, if that makes sense. Like, maybe there's definitely a lot of League YouTubers out there, but most of them make like gameplay videos, and most of them make videos that are much more about, like, I don't know. A lot of people just make gameplay videos or videos on Korean builds or strategies for the new champion, or look at this new skin, here's a full gameplay. Like, there's not a lot of content out there that's the kind of thing I'm interested in that can, I don't want to say that I would copy them, but when you have a lot of people making the same kind of content, it's easy to get inspired, quote unquote, by other people and see like, oh, they made a video talking about whatever. Let's use Matthew Matosis as an example, right? He's someone that makes videos that are super detailed, super analytical, like reviews. They're basically reviews of games where, he might go off for hours and hours detailing every little thing in the game and how the design all lines up to make for a good or bad experience. And then you can take that sort of format, or that idea, not necessarily even the format that he puts it up on YouTube, but you can take that idea and think, oh, it would be interesting if I, went in depth on League of Legends and, I don't know, talked about every League of Legends champion in a single video or something like that. I think that's the sort of thing that I've definitely been trying to find more of, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing about it, but this has been a frustration that's been bouncing around my mind lately. I'm not sure what to do to fix the problem, but I think I'm at a bit of a crossroads, and I have to figure out where I'm going. Do I want to keep on trying to make these super detailed, hyper-analytical videos about League of Legends when there's just not that much to analyze? Or if there is stuff to analyze, I'm bad enough as a player that I can't find it or see it. So, maybe I've talked about everything, but maybe I just need to improve as a player first, and I'll find more things to talk about. But that's something that's been on my mind lately, and I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. I might even end up just having to go back to making the same old League trash that everyone else makes, full gameplay commentaries every time a new skin comes out or whatever. That, a lot of you guys like those videos, actually. A lot of you guys keep on complaining, saying that I should make more commentary videos, and that the videos that I make that I spend like a week to make an analysis video just end up turning out repetitive and boring. And I'd kind of like to think that that's just because I need to get better at making those videos and not necessarily because the videos are flawed themselves. But I'll probably end up doing some sort of mix of them in the first place. But anyway, yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about some of this stuff. Felt like bringing back GB 100 would be a great opportunity to do that. I'm going to be releasing a lot more videos on here in the future, hopefully daily videos, no promises, but because we're going to be making a lot of videos here, and because they're probably going to end up being daily or somewhat daily, I think I'm going to not do an outro. My outro that I always say at the end of every video. I'll keep that on the main channel, but I'm probably not going to do an outro for the videos on my second channel. So yeah.